So Diablo's been out for a couple of decades now. Some people actually start off ladder with the exact same character every single time. For me, that's a little bit monotonous, a little bit boring. I like a little change up, a little different flavor. I would really implore you, with the Season 2 ladder start coming up here, hopefully sometime in the near future, maybe try out a different character. And for ideas of that, today I'm going to give you my 5 funnest characters to play in Diablo 2 Resurrected. And I promise you, they are not going to be that same old Blizzard Sorceress or Hammerden. So to start off, we're going to come in with one of my favorites more recently here. It takes absolutely no gear to rock this, so it's a very good choice to start a ladder reset with. And that is the Summon Necromancer. Now, to say this character worked good with budget gear is an absolute understatement. Literally, you can take the Summon Necromancer, walk into the Chaos Sanctuary, and absolutely lay waste to everything in there with your Necromancer completely naked. I am not kidding, because you have so much safety from all them skeletons, all the summons running around, and the corpse explosion gives you so much damage. All you need is an absolutely average Act 2 mercenary and these summons. Usually your mercenary will get the first kill, you start popping bodies, and bam, everything is absolutely knocked down. This character is not a great boss farmer. Generally, there is ways that you can get around that I'm not going to really have to discuss here in this particular video. But if you're out there running the pits, if you're running the Chaos Sanctuary, Eldritch Shank, all different kinds of places, this character works great. Super safe, tons of damage, clears mobs like crazy. You can even clear out in the Moo farm slapping down cows. So the first one up on this list, I love playing that Summon Necromancer. Next one up, I've been playing a lot on stream lately because in the past, crazy enough, the game's been out for 20 years. I've never really even touched this character very much, but that is the Trap Assassin, and more specifically, the lightning traps. Now, a lot of assassins, if you're out there killing mobs, you're going to end up using Death Sentry because it essentially has a corpse explosion type of skill along with it anyways. But then next up, I use the lightning traps because they deal a ton of damage. Also, once you get later game, you can get yourself an Infinity, and you can break essentially all lightning immunes with that Conviction Aura on that Infinity, so the lightning traps can knock any monster out. This is another build much like the Summon Necromancer that is very good with very budget gear. Just throwing on generic caster stuff, things like Spirit Sword or a Lore to get +1 skills. Anything that gets you a few skills here and there is going to be absolutely great. And because you don't necessarily need a ton of gear, you don't need a ton of skills to do really good, because the corpse explosion from the Death Sentry blows up those packs. You can actually stack quite a bit of magic find on this character as well. Another good thing about starting off with the Assassin is most people probably know that fire skills absolutely slap down normal difficulty and work very great, probably about halfway through Nightmare at least, until you get up to that Nightmare Chaos Sanctuary. Then they start to slow down quite a bit, but you will walk through with ease normal and through the first part of Nightmare. So it does make an absolutely great ladder reset starter. Also, this has a ton of different safety skills. You can use things like Cloak of Shadows, you can use skills like Mind Blast to really keep your character safe and to keep your mercenary safe and alive as well. On top of that, you can use a skill called Burst of Speed, and that allows you to lay down traps faster. If you didn't know, traps actually are laid down or thrown out there based upon your attack speed. So Burst of Speed, you'll make you run around faster, so before you get Enigma, you're traveling through the game faster, and you can then just use that 1-point wonder type of skill to then lay down your traps, which are your attacks even faster. Next up is the character I did the first Diablo 2 Resurrected ladder with, and that is the Nova Sorceress. Nova is a skill that kind of got reworked in the 2.4 patch, so it is much better now, and some of the stuff got synergies, so you can actually get the skill up to have enough power to really wreck. The Nova Sorceress, because of this lightning skill, it's a really great key farmer. The Summoner, the Countess, and Neelithak, they're generally not going to be immune to lightning. Once in a while a Neelithak will be, but not most of the time, so you can farm all the keys with this character. Because the Nova doesn't have that many synergies, you can actually go ahead and pile a ton of points into skills like Energy Shield, and then that'll provide you with a ton of safety. Another reason that is because one of the synergies for Nova is actually one of the synergies that is also for Energy Shield, and that is Static. Static being another absolutely powerful skill to use for the Sorceress. So you're piling all these points in the static to get your Nova damage up, but that also gives you 70 trillion radius on your Nova, so you're staticking down every monster in the entire map. On a playthrough, your teammates are going to love you for that. So not to mention, since you're a sorceress, you obviously have the teleport skill, having great mobility and all that stuff. You can teleport through the game for your team on that ladder reset, and you're getting survivability from that energy shield as well. So if you don't want to do that standard Blizzard Sorceress or any of the fire skills, the Orb Meteor Sorceress or anything like that, this is a great fun option to start a ladder with, the Energy Shield Nova Sorceress. Now for the fourth one here, and this might be a character that a lot of people have tried out and played. It is new for Diablo 2 Resurrected, another one that got that change in the 2.4 patch. It's incredibly powerful. You probably know what's coming here. That's the Fist of Heaven's Paladin. Now I know a lot of people probably got to try this already, so if you did, maybe you could try one of the other ones on the list, but if you have not, this character is incredibly powerful. And it's not exactly like the Hammerden. With that character, you got to get right up in people's faces to be able to get the hammers to hit them right. With Fist of Heavens, you can pick monsters off to the left, to the right, really far out on the map, so you don't need to get right up on them. This is another one of those characters that's really good with budget gear, so out there farming, early on in the ladder reset, you're not going to have a problem. Then, once you get even the late game end gear, you're going to slaughter even more fiercely. This build pretty much takes out everything in the entire game with ease, since the Fist of Heaven's damage goes for both undead and demons now since the 2.4 patch. If you have not given this character a try yet, I would definitely recommend. Now the last character up here is literally the best magic find character in the entire game, and it's going to surprise you. It's not exactly a specific build type of recommendation here, but that is start ladder with a Barbarian. I know a lot of people are thinking, oh my goodness, the Barbarian playthrough is so hard, it's so tough, and if you're playing through solo, I would agree with that. But also, if you're doing a ladder reset, why are you not finding people to go ahead and play through this ladder reset with? If you have a full party, they are going to love you because you're pretty much a walking, talking call to arms. You'll of course have battle commands and battle orders at some point in your playthrough, and not to mention you'll have other shouts before that you can use to help out your entire party. I know I'll hear it in the comments, I can never find people to play with, it's always so difficult, and you don't even necessarily hop into my Discord. Every single content creator on YouTube has their own Discord where you can try to help find people to play with for ladder reset, or just after the ladder starts and things like that. There's always people in content creators Discords looking for people to play with, so head down in the description and definitely jump up and join mine. But if you don't want to do that, just go on anybody's, whether it's Llamas, Ghoulies, the Brunskis, BTs, Macro Bioboy, any of them have Discords where you can find people. Now, I did leave this a little bit open-ended because a lot of the Barbarians are roughly the same in how good they are. So whether you're trying to do the Berserk Barb, or whether you're going with a Whirlwind Barb, or you're going with a Frenzy Barb, it's not particularly that much different. But what I would recommend is getting your find item skill really, really high. That's kind of the important thing that makes this one of the best magic finders in the entire game. Another thing that's great about this character with that item find skill is that it doesn't even necessarily matter what player's difficulty you're using that skill on. See, the reason you find better and more items on higher players' difficulty counts is because monsters' no drop chance is then decreased when there's more people in the game. But that's not the case on how find item works. Actually, the chance that an item will drop is based upon the percentage on your find item skill, not on the player's difficulty. So yes, even if you're farming on players 1 difficulty with a Barbarian, the initial kill will have a higher no drop chance than if you had more people in the game. But if you're out there farming solo and you use the find item, no matter if there's 1 person in the game, just you, or a full party and you're all farming together, you'll have the same chance of finding an item from a monster. On top of you getting that second chance of getting a good item, you can also stack a lot of magic find on a Barbarian. You can do this because you can actually get 6 isted swords for your offhand, or you can go ahead and just stick an Alibaba on your offhand as well, because Barbarians can actually dual wield swords. So even though it can be a tough undertaking with the game out for 20 years, I would really implore you to get that Barbarian out there and get to farming using that find item skill, no matter which type of build you really ultimately determine to go into. So let me know your favorite and funnest builds down in the comments. And don't forget, check this video out right up over here. I know you're going to like this one right here. Like button, subscribe button, smash them. And don't forget, keep slaying.